know about that. What we're seeing here right now is federal troops preparing themselves to be struck by General Longstreet's infantry, some horse soldiers, some cavalry, and Confederate artillery. This should be men of Dan Sickles' 3rd Corps, who got the idea of going forward in the morning and under General Meade's disagreement, but in that actuality did slow up the Confederate advance.
Longstreet didn't
So this is the area where Pickett Charge was?
That should be like...
No, we're behind Confederate lines. So that's Wolf's Hill. That's Bennett's Hill. Wolf's Hill is just over the rise there. Okay? Mm-hmm. So that's the fish hook. Meade's fish hook. It ends on Colts Hill. Swings out around and goes down Cemetery Ridge. Okay? So Sickles is about halfway down toward the end of the
artillery batteries that would have been
Union
posted
left
up
flank.
along the Emmitsburg Road or further back in the woods are preparing now to strike the area of the wheat field.
And Uncle Dan Sickles has moved his corps forward to the Peach Orchard, which is a little higher rise, and he can see over the Emmitsburg Road at the Confederates.
Ah, so besides I flip.
Yeah. So, Sickles is in what's called a salient. He's pushed forward, and the Confederates are hitting him at both sides and pushing him back, and he risks the whole line. They have to rush 6th Corps from the bottom of Colts Hill down across and up behind him up to Little Round Top. So,
Yeah, but if he'd have stayed where he was supposed to be, but he took them down there, and that was where he was wrong.
mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be up on the hill.
Yeah, he would have been anchored on Little Round Top if he had stayed where he was supposed to be.
Yeah. But that's history.
Confederate battery artillery
lots of ifs in
battery
history.
commanders are giving the directions to their artillery batteries, trying to figure out their distance and their powder charge.
Skirmish line coming in.
I'm betting the closest cannon's gonna fire first.
Possibly.
These are shooting. Where we're shooting. We're talking about
Why white? Alright, flag with which rail?
That's Second Corps.
The flags out there that are moving around on the federal line is a sign of a communication. They're directing orders from one end of the field to the other.
Semaphore.
Those are skirmishers, I guess.
The federal soldiers behind a stone wall know hell's coming to them very shortly. They're preparing.
They were going to be.
Up on the far right of the federal line, there appears to be dismounted cavalry with their shorter guns, their carbines.
That's it.
The order on the federal line now is to their infantry to load their muskets.
You sure? Okay, thank you.
Waiting till 4.
Federal infantry is getting ready to give the Confederates a volley. And now it starts. Confederate artillery has figured out their distance. Now they're firing on the Union line. Off to our left, we have Confederate cavalry trying to keep their forces in line, obeying orders from the battery commanders. right, we see some Federal artillery trying to figure out the distance between their line and the Confederate line. Infantry readies their guns. Order is given. They fire another volley. Confederate cavalry
Yeah, it would have
also
been
are
casualties if-
staying,
if-
keeping their distance from the Federal infantry musket fire. Confederate batteries prepare. Fire. And the line of Confederate artillery opens up on the Union infantry. Off to our left, we see Confederate infantry from General Longstreet's command, opening up on the Union infantry in their front. Now it's a duel between infantry on the Battle of the Wheat Field. Another volley given by the Confederate infantry off to our left, but the Union infantry off to our right is returning fire pretty successfully. The infantry heats up the attack. I'm sure General Longstreet's assessing the situation, giving the order to his infantry to advance shortly. Firing by company. The smoke starts laying thick on the field. With the humidity the way it is, this becomes the danger battle. No man can see right in front or in the rear of them. That's why flags are so important for the infantry. So the infantry can follow the flags into the battle. right beyond that knoll, some federal artillery is returning fire to the Confederate batteries.
Hey, ticket size tomorrow.
Today is the anniversary of the first day of the battle.
First day?
About 7 o'clock tonight, Johnson was marrying his corps, his 2nd Division up here.
Muskets that the Federal Army was using were a mixture of Springfield and British import Enfields, all of 58 calibers. Confederate Army had a bunch of muskets, but most of them were Enfields and some Belgian muskets, and a lot of captured weapons from Winchester from the battle previous to this.
It smells like gunpowder.
Soldiers on both sides of this line are seasoned veterans. They've met each other in battle before. Such places as Chancellorsville, Fredericksburg, and even Sharpsburg. So they're not strangers to each other. Confederate infantry is given the order to move forward. You can hear the rebel yell as they cross the Gettysburg Road and into the bloody wheat field. Hear the musket fire from General Kershaw's men. That was volley fire from one infantry command. Confederate artillery batteries opening up. They seem to have gotten to range.
I wonder if any of the artillery men are going to get order 9. Will have order 9. I wonder if any of the artillery men will have order 9. Order 9 is where if you get struck by a cannonball, is where if a kid gets struck by a cannonball and everyone is killed.
I don't know. Got it.
Neither one of these troops, on the Union side or the Confederate side, were involved in the fighting of the first day. So on the field now, they're referred to as fresh. Another volley fired into the Federals from the Confederate side.
You can't even see the Union artillery.
You don't have to say Union artillery.
The order on the Federal side was to load and hold. Well, the orders on the Confederate side were to keep it up. Keep up the hot fire. Now the Federals will return.
I wonder when they're going to actually, when some of these men are going out of ammo and die. They have a lot of gunpowder.
60 rounds.
Union line sergeant takes the hit and falls to the ground. General Longstreet's taking his men to the left, forming up on the Gettysburg Road. Sergeant pulls himself together again to load his musket for another round. This time he's down. You were at the end of the line and you were in command of those soldiers. You became a strict target. Now the federal soldiers are changing position, realizing the attack's going to come from the left. This is the dismounted cavalry that is earlier on the field. Federal artillery battery still opening up from beyond the Gettysburg Road. The federal line starts to thin out. The Confederates haven't yet moved on to their initial attack. General Kershaw of South Carolina is following on the left. Battery fire from Offland Ridge. Line of infantry to set down musket fire. Dismounted cavalry is giving their best with the small carbines. Confederate cavalry is still mounted and waiting for their orders to go into the field.
It works really well. So I have it in my first one. I thought I would do the cases over 10.
Yeah. Well, I had ordered the case at the same time, but the case was a day later. Yeah, they hit the ground.
Confederate infantry on our left, inching up, crossing the Gettysburg Road, getting mixed in around the rocks along Kershaw Ridge. The rebel yell louds out. The federal hears them. They've heard that yell many, many times before. General Kershaw's men of the South Carolina brigades on the far left are moving into position.
New York Suaves.
What?
See the red pants, the New York Suaves. Red pants, and the Federals on the
Yeah.
outside.
Another
Yeah.
volley by the Union infantry. Kershaw's brigades moving in forward.
Are they going to be charging?
The shooting and the firing is becoming hotter and hotter as the day goes on.
Maybe.
There should be at least a dozen bodies there they were. But no one less than 60 rounds.
ammunition boys behind that would run back and forth to the supply wagons to bring more ammunition.
The Union dismounted cavalry moves up with the infantry to give them support. Another line fire from General Longstreet's men. The Federal infantry and dismounted cavalry are starting to feel the pinch. Confederate infantry starts moving off, repositioning itself, trying to outflank the Federal infantry. More of Longstreet's men move into position. Ready, aim. As the rebel yell sounds out, the Union line starts to thin out more. But they're not falling back, they're holding their own.
Almost half an
Another
hour.
wild volley from the Confederate infantry from the South Carolina Brigade.
You've been filming for half an hour?
Aim!
Yeah. 17 minutes.
They're pouring it in hot, but yet the Union line holds. Off to our right, we can see still men from the 5th Corps entering on the field. The 3rd Corps of the Union Army is now starting getting some support. Confederate batteries see the movements of the 5th Corps coming down the road and open up on them. Confederate infantry moving up. Federal men from the 3rd Corps starting to fall back from the stone wall. Falling back to the new position with the 5th Corps. Unfortunately, they're wounded on the line. South Carolina Brigade moves in position. General Hood's Texans are ready to attack. A line of fire from the Texans. Now far off to your right, the 5th Corps is getting engaged. The 3rd Corps of the Union Army finally gets some relief. Fire. The fire from both sides gets hot. Second line of Confederate infantry fires over to Schuler, the first line. First line returns fire. Second line loads.
How many gun batteries have been knocked out?
This is the Confederate flag forward.
Don't know.
Flag officers wrecking his men in. This is the Texas Brigade going into the wheat field, pushing the Union flags back to the place called the Devil's Den.
3rd Arkansas. Robertson's Brigade.
Robertson. That unit right there?
Yep. Front with Lone Star. See the flag with the Lone Star?
Yeah.
That's Texas Brigade.
First line readies.
Robertson's Texas Brigade.
Second line leaves over the shoulder of the first line.
That's the 3rd Arkansas, the
Order
3rd,
is given
4th,
to
and
fire.
5th
Now
Texas.
everyone loads.
This shows for the people there because they
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they paid for the armbands. Extra $10 for the armbands. That's all right.
Order is given for independent fire. Now each man's on his own. Load and fire. Load and fire. First line and second line works as a team. First line fires, second line fires. The man in the back communicates with the man up front. The second line, although taking casualties, is still holding. infantry fire from the 5th Corps off to our right. The Battle of Wheatfield is now getting its name, the Bloody Wheatfield. The order is given. Firing completed. The Confederate line captain giving orders to his men. Off to our far right, we see the 5th Corps entering the field in force. Coming in to support the 3rd Corps that's taken a heck of a beating this morning. That is fire. Each man from right to left loads and fires.
Probably have another 30 minutes. They might have another 30 minutes.
Longstreet throws some more of his troops in. Infantry starts moving forward. Going to come out to the right. Now try to outflank the Federal Army.
Well, now you get a better view.
Command was given at the right oblique. More Confederate troops going into the front. The idea is to try to outflank the Yankee Army.
Where's Mom?
She went back to the picnic table.
Infantry turns to the right. Moves up to the line.
Texas Brigade with 3rd Arkansas, 3rd Texas, 4th Texas. Barely a company.
The Texas Brigade moves in forward. The 3rd Corps, the Army of the Potomac, is about to get encircled. The 5th Corps out to your right is holding their own, holding the line. Casualties start to mount.
Best 3 hours of fighting done by any means.
Who won this segment?
It was a draw. So, since the Union was still on the field and the Confederates were still on the field, but the Union won because it delayed another day and they could bring up another corps of troops, fresh troops.
The 3rd Corps, although holding their own, are realizing that they're in a bad position.
And they didn't get to it.
Yep.
Something like you said, Sickles' mistake actually
screwing up the Confederate plans. And light them even more.
The Texas Brigade keeps moving forward.
How they them realizing then?
Well, me being the Union line to be all on Cemetery Ridge. Sickles moved his corps.
Dan Sickles' third corps starts to melt away.
There was a rise there, and at Chancellorsville, they had to retreat back from high ground, and the Confederates took it and used it as an artillery platform, and it tore them up. So they think, maybe that was in his memory, but he moved forward, like your dad was telling me earlier. He moved forward that spot, but when he did, he hit the salient, and it let the Confederates attack on the two sides and the front.
It says if he delayed another 30 minutes, he'd caught Sickles moving back.
But the trick was, the Confederates didn't expect them to be there. They expected them to be on the ridge, everyone else. So when they ran into Sickles' corps, it heated up in this fight we're watching.
And it forced Meade to throw in more troops to cover for Sickles' mistakes. So
Confederate infantry is using an oblique tactic to try to outflank the Yankees.
Supported the line where it needed to be.
The 5th Corps starts to fall back.
Yeah. Basically, the fight started sooner.
The pressure from the South Carolinians is a bit too much.
So they bloodied the Yankees' numbers real good. They didn't get to carry out the plan that they intended to.
What was no plan?
So hit the Gettysburg Road and attack an echelon and roll the line back toward Colts Hill.
Hit the Union left flank and roll right up the ridge. Turn them and roll them up.
Cut the Taneytown Road, cut the Baltimore right, and make them retreat back up the Hanover Road, which is 50.
And where would have this taken place? And where would have this battle taken place?
On the southern end of the line. We're on the northeastern side of the battlefield, and it's on the southwestern side of the line.
Union left flank.
The Union left, Confederate right.
So they're not even including stuff like when Hood comes in. Some old troops on a little round top. But there's limits to what they can do.
Since the map has changed.
At this point in the battle, troops from the Federal and Confederates have gone through a place called Devil's Den and fallen down into actually called the killing fields or the slaughter pen. And as they retreat up a place called Little Round Top and Big Round Top, names that will become infamous in history.
First and second sharpshooters are up there.
Yeah.
Where they are.
Confederate battery fire picks up again as the Union troops fall back to the round tops.
Redeploying troops again. Battled back and forth across the field 6 or 7 times. Oaks' Alabamans charged up Little Round Top 6 or 7 times, or 8 times, depending on which memory Chamberlain has.
Yeah.
So Little Round Top to be in the background.
Yeah. And Cemetery Ridge.
But with both from the opposite side and flush it.
We'll see all this probably this afternoon. I don't know. We'll probably go out to Cashtown and then come back to Fort Seminary Ridge when we get down here.
What's Cashtown?
That's the road where AP Hill has his Corps headquarters, and where he attacked earlier this morning up the Cashtown Chambersburg Pike, down the Chambersburg Pike into Gettysburg, runs into Buford's Bend.
Federal infantry falls back as Confederate infantry moves forward. Members of the Union 5th Corps shifted over to their left, trying to support what is left of the 3rd Corps. Confederate infantry on our far left marches and fires at the same time, moving in on their adversary. Confederate cavalry is off to their left, giving support the best they can.
What?
We should have went to the battlefield today and then come tomorrow and watch the charge game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking that same thing earlier. I was like, yeah, I imagine all the biggest charts, stone walls, maybe the angle. You know,
It appears as if another division of the 5th Corps is actually moving onto the line.
This is all worth it.
yeah.
And unlike the
What?
unlike the sides, it's a roll top. So it's,
Do you have any, what drinks do you have in there?
RC,
There's a Mountain Dew and a Diet Mountain Dew left.
you want the Mountain Dew?
I guess.
Confederate infantry
That's three,
shifting
you
off
gotta
on
tell
our
your
right.
What?
The carnage
That's
on the
three, you don't
second
tell your
day
mom.
was tremendous.
Here, maybe my last one out of there.
So you have no water in there?
Your mom took her water.
Well, if Mom finds out anyways, what if she asks for a
She
Mountain
won't
Dew?
find out if you don't tell her.
Well, if she asks for a Mountain Dew when we get that. Well, if she asks for a Mountain Dew when she gets back.
We'll handle that. We'll handle that when we handle that. But
Confederates are receiving flanking
key
fire
is-
from members
probably
of the
listen to
Union
your-
5th Corps.
your video, the key is just don't say anything. I'll take care of it. You don't say anything. Yeah, it's the last 3 minutes of the game at ASU. You know the other team's going to get to the parking lot before the rest.
Or like last month when we were there, the show was like 31-3 minutes, 3 minutes left.
Right.
Got people like freaking out. No man, we'll win and go out. I'm staying here for every minute I pay for it. We were losing 31-3. I couldn't get an exit with them.
Confederate batteries are now being up on new arriving Union forces.
That's exactly right. All those wounded Confederates in line together. There's another 12,000 men.
Yeah. Right, they can march on a 2-year line.
And they're all Herschel's brigade. They didn't fight yesterday. They were all. These are all fresh troops. Herschel just marched 25 miles overnight to get here.
Yeah.
And marched all day. Six in position.
They're fresh in the sense that they haven't fought. They're not fresh in the sense that they're not tired.
Completely wore out. I promise you, I didn't march 25 miles a day.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to try to carry it.
I ain't charged it. Nothing.
Oh, I see some packs and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Federal infantry is now holding its own beyond the wheat field in a place called Little Round Top.
Did you see the big one that was pretty much...
What now?
Did you see the sword that was the size of pretty much a regular sword?
Yeah.
Shiny butt. Most people, when they get into reacting, would probably either get into the artillery, or
Yeah. Yeah, because if you want to be cavalry, you're going to have to already know how to ride a horse.
and have one.
Yeah. Yeah.
This means you're probably going to have to buy a horse. It means you need land for a horse.
Yeah. You don't have to buy a horse and have a place to keep a horse and feed a horse.
which only means which fine boys can who have
Yeah.
or just ranchers in like particular.
Late in the afternoon, as the battle starts to stalemate, Confederate lines hold their own just east of the Gettysburg Road. Federal lines being supported with the 5th Corps now hold the line at Seminary Ridge.
Right, yeah.
I wonder how long it will be until the battle will be over. It's currently an hour and 4 minutes in.
We're about to head up the hill and go.
I don't know if that's if he's using a megaphone or not. Gonna clean it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to when we get back.
As we take a break. Well, if he's gonna take a break, I have to. I'm gonna sit there and get started. Just a spin. Here we go.
Yeah, let's head on up the hill early.
Guess I should probably stop recording.
Yep.